Welcome to the channel. It's always yours, MightyZoo, and we're going today through King's Arthur's Legend Rise tier list. So it was a while ago we updated this tier list, but finally it's done. It's fresh. The game is going in the right direction now, so it makes sense to cover this game and to update the tier list. So let's check this out. So this is old tier list, but it is updated on regular basis. So the last update was 3rd of May 2025. If you watch it after that date, like few months later, there is probably updated video and updated tier list. You can always check that tier list at mightyzoo.co. It will be in the description below. You can find the link. So please check this out. So if you go through the tier list, you see we have all the criteria. So we categorize champions into 3 categories: DPS, support, sustain. All legendary champions are with C4 and their standard relic. And rare champions are C8 with the best in slot relic. Some champions will have a star. You can find the star nodes below. That means they have some special requirements or limited use. It is explained in the star nodes. And heroes are ordered randomly within a tier. Here explained, we have meta heroes, that is T0, T0.5. We have strong heroes, T1, T1.5, and T2. We have limited use heroes, T3, and weak heroes, T4, and trash heroes, T5. Let's go through it. So first we have DPS. Now, in the first place is KALR Arthur, newly released champion. Very powerful champion. He's still on the banner. If you're watching this video like week even after the release, he should still be on the banner. Make sure you pull this guy. He's incredibly strong. He's easy to build. He smacks like a truck. And also he has beautiful buff immortality. That means if he's about to die, he has 1 HP left, he gets immortality buff. That means he can't be killed for 1 turn. If you get his chivalries, and you should take him to chivalry 5, like 100%, he will have this for 2 turns. So that means he can't die. So it's very good for PvP, but also very good for PvE, because some bosses like, let's say, Tarask, Shrine of Storms, the boss may just kill you, but you need only like 1 or 2 turns to kill the boss. So that will give you this extra 2 turns to finish off the boss. So very good champion, very good weapons too. His starting weapon is really strong, and the other weapons, once you get them, they're gonna be a really good addition. His weapons are really good, and that's a big plus. Also, he's very good at AoE and single target scenarios. So he will cover everything for you. Now, next champion is Ivere, and she's T02, and she is very strong. However, KALR Arthur has this edge that he needs less investment than Ivere. So Ivere, you really need her C8, and you need to gear her like KALR, but she needs just more investment in her chivalries to pull her off. But she is also very good, especially when you get her fire weapon. Now, T0.5, so we have Bedivere, and Bedivere went down from T0. At the moment, he's not there with KALR Arthur and Ivere. He's still, anyway, very strong champion. He buffs himself with pierce damage. He buffs his crit rate. So he's easy to build, very efficient, and very good ice damager. His best skill is S2. So that means he doesn't use as much vigor. Very good champion. If you pull Bedivere, don't worry, build this guy. He's worth it. Now, Rosier, she is a good DPS, not as good as Bedivere or the other ones at all. However, she got DOTs, and after Lancelot, the best DOTs in the game. So for that reason, she is really strong, and that's why she is still used. She's used in clan raids. She is used in Gorgos, and you can use her in other scenarios too, like Forbidden Dungeon. She is really, really good. Now we're going to strong heroes. T1. Now we got Tristan, and Tristan he is a really solid champion. He can do a lot of damage, but he needs his chivalries to work, and then if you have your memory stones, you rather put your chivalries in Ivere or Caliburn Arthur or other champions than putting him. That's why he will probably start working for you better, either if you are pay to win and you spend there, or you just play long time and you will accumulate his chivalries over time. However, good champion for the new dungeon. So yeah, very good champion generally. Cormac is also good champion. However, he's a little bit outshined by other options now. He is very good, but you need his ice weapon, so it's not his starting weapon. However, his AoE damage is really good, but in single target scenarios he will suffer, but he's still okay. You could invest in him, but if you have other options, I would rather go higher. Arthur, exceptionally good champion, but only against ice enemies. So his best weapon is wind. So that's what you have to get. Once you get his wind weapon, he's very good against ice enemies because he get extra attack against those, do extra damage. Otherwise, he's just okay, but still at T1. Now we got Claricin at T1.5. Now her damage is okay. She's not bad, but it's not as good as the other ones. However, as you see, she's also as a support because she gives and the tier as a support. I will get there in a minute, but she places a very important debuff, decreased defense on the enemy. So if you use Morgan in another team, she can be your decreased defense champion, and this is one of the most important debuffs in the game. She buffs 2 meter of your allies also, and she still does decent damage. So you could consider her, but you need some chivalries on her too. Remember that, like few chivalries, maybe 4. Now T2 are champions that I would not recommend investing right now. Gwaine, he is in top teams in the new dungeon. However, if you are new, you're new to the game, or like in mid game, you would probably don't. I would ignore this guy. Don't invest in him. When you're at end game and you build all other champions, perhaps you can invest in this guy a little bit. Charlotte, she can smack very strong. She hits hard, but she needs a bloody setup. So she is a weird champion. I wouldn't recommend really investing in her, but you could consider that. You can watch some guys and make decision. However, the other options are just really better. Kay, she hits okay. She has this evasion thing that she accumulates some stacks, and then she can be annoying once she gets all out of the stacks. It's very hard to hit her, so she can be a really nasty surprise in arena. However, because now we have bigger hitters, so she dies before she can really accumulate those stacks. So not ideal. She can be paired with Turin for more evasion, but she's still strong. That's why she's T2. Now we go into limited use, T3, Anguish. He is a DOT character and quite decent one, but you won't use him anywhere else. So Rosier is a DOT character too, but she places 3 DOTs like he does, has a chance to place 3 DOTs, but she will increase the duration of DOTs and make a decent damage. This guy doesn't make any damage and places 3 DOTs, but he doesn't extend their duration. So he's okay for Gorgos, but otherwise you will never use this guy. Now we go into T4 weak champions. Ban used to be one of the strongest champions in the entire game. Then he, at the beginning, after the release, he was nerfed, and now he is totally dog shit. They just overdid his nerf and made him totally unusable. Uriens, another situation, he's not that great, very limited use. Let's move on. Now we're going to support, and we got Nika. Now Nika is a must-have champion. So even if you started playing the game now, you pick up a selector. This is where you spend your selector straight away because you need Nika. Her heals are incredibly strong. As you see, her support, she's a support. Nika is a T0, and as a sustain, as a healer, is T0 too. So she's incredibly strong. Best healer in the game and one of the best buffers in the game too. So she grants you attack, she gives you extra vigor. She is just exceptionally good. She allows you to build absolutely broken teams, otherwise you will have no chance of doing. If you get her C8, it's like you're giving every other champion vigor set, extra vigor set. She is incredibly strong. Now Morgan is another broken champion. We will start with her. Once you get your first Master Memory Stones, you want to place them on Morgan to take her to C3. This is the most important chivalry in the game. After you take her to C3, then take Nika to C8. That's your second mission. However, Morgan is great. She places decreased defense and damage taken up on your enemies. Very, very good. She is excellent with her fire weapon controlling turn meter. If you get her wind weapon, that's additional bonus. She's perfect. Very good champion, a must build, right? Anya is another incredibly strong support. However, also she does incredibly good damage. She is very, very good. All her weapons are really exceptionally good. You start with ice. However, her wind and her fire are really, really, really good too. So a must build, you need to take her to C4 to take advantage of her power, because at C4 she counter attacks with her massive damage passive, which is really naughty and really hard hitting. Now we got Gillian. We were considering taking her to T0.5. She is really good, especially if you get her to C4 at controlling turn meter. So she can decrease enemy's turn meter. She can increase your turn meter, but there's a lot of RNG, so it doesn't always trigger. She also heals, but these heals are single target mainly. If you get her additional weapon Frost, you have a chance to heal more than one person. And also she's very good against abnormal statuses. So if someone to stun you or freeze you, she can automatically undo it and give you emergency heal. So she is decent champion too to invest. You won't be sorry if you invest in this champion. Now we go into T0 0.5 in support, and we got Series. Now Series is another extremely strong champion. You start with wind weapon, is very good. Once you get her fire weapon, she's also extremely strong DPS, AoE DPS. She places preservation on you, so you can negate sometimes damage. You have a chance to negate damage, but she's also have this incredibly strong reflect damage. So when she plays this buff on yourself or one of your champions, if DPS attacks that champion, they can really almost lose their whole life. Like that, they can be left with 1 HP, and then you just finish it off. So very strong champion, very good for PvP. She's a mainly PvP champion, so Arena and Clan Wars. Now we have Lot, and Lot is incredibly good champion too, especially when you get his chivalries. Once you get his other weapons, which you can buy them in the shop too, he gets more value too. But his starting weapon Frost is very good. You get this frozen, it's infusion, I think it's called. When your allies attack, they have 30% chance to freeze. So this is like a buff, really good buff. And also once you get his fire weapon, you can either put Oblivion, AoE Oblivion everyone so they forget their passive skills, or you can have this control debuff that enemies will attack themselves. And you place this for 2 turns, which is really, really good too. Very good champion, especially if you can take this champion to C8. Very good champion. Now Lancelot. Lancelot is T0.52. He is the best DOT character in the entire game, but you need to take him to C8 really for him to shine like super good. However, if you take him to C4, he's already anyway the best DOT character in the game. So definitely great champion. With fire, you have a good stun, single target stun, 90% stun. However, he shines with his frost weapon, which you can get in the shop now. So easy get. Anyway, good champion. However, I would not recommend building this champion for new players or mid-game players. Lancelot is a typical end-game champion. End-game champion. So don't build him if you just started or are playing for a short period of time. Now we're going to strong champions. T1 is Guinevere. Guinevere is exceptionally good in arena and exceptionally against the worm boss who devours your party and he eats 2 people and you have to free them. When you place Guinevere in the team, she prevents that. So that's why she is so like a must build for just for that. She is very good and she's very good in arena because she protects you from abnormal statuses. So you can't be frozen, you can't be stunned, you can't be slapped. It's very good. So definitely build her. However, I would not recommend you to put any chivalries in her from your memory stones. If you put copies, that's fine, but no memory master memory stones. Merlin, once the game was launched, he was like most wanted champion. He is actually the only champion that have revive, but his revive is absolutely rubbish. So you won't take advantage of it at all. He used to be really good. He was a must-have for Tarask. He was must-have for Gorgos. There were some teams early with him. Now he's not used much. But he still can do some work. He's still T1. Now, Clarison, you see, she's in a DPS, but she is also a support, and she's better support than DPS. And because she boosts your turn meter, which is really good, the whole party, and also she plays decreased defense, and she's the only she is really, after Morgan, the second best champion doing that in the game. So definitely worth building. However, I wouldn't recommend like hard investing in her. Especially if you're early mid game, leave this champion for end game. If you have Bedivere, Caliban, Arthur, or Ivera, just invest in them. Clarison, you can invest when you're at end game and you need to tackle like hard content, like the new dungeon when we have those free bosses. Then it's time to use her. Now Sigrun is interesting champion. She is very good for the first dragon. However, you can deal with first dragon without her. She's okay, but I would not invest in her too much. She is a mark champion. You need some chivalries to pull this off. Marks are quite good because the enemy just takes more damage when they have mark. However, she's okay, but she's not exceptionally broken. You have better champions to invest in, as you can see. Now Sergius, this is really a sad story. Long story short, he was T0 champion a few days ago. And Netmarble decided to nerf him, and this is very unfortunate nerf. Really, they nerfed him too much, and now he used to give us 60% turn meter boost to whole party. Now it was 100%. Now he has 80% to boost us 35. It's not good enough. He's not worth it. Clarison, she's okay in fire, not exceptionally good. She's still T 1.5. However, if you get her wind weapon, she's extremely good in turn meter controlling. However, even with fire, you can use her skill 1 and she can repeatedly attack and repeat her attacks. She's very good in decreasing single target enemies turn meter. At this, she's really good. I would not invest too much in her, but you could build her for some scenarios. Now, Ardoin, a little fairy, she is really good in a way. So the downside of Ardoin, she's very squishy, but with her weapons, she basically can change your enemies into rabbits, and she counters with that too. So she counters skill 2 if you invest in her chivalries. Very, very good champion. Very good for Forbidden Dungeon. Very good for some events when you have those giants. Extremely good champion actually. The 1.5 deserved. You can invest in her. You don't have to invest very hard in her, but it's worth it. Now we go into limited use. There's no champions in T2. Unlimited use. Now we have T3. We have Gerloy. Now this guy, this is a little bit sad. He can hit kinda okay. He can hit okay. He's supposed to be a champion that blocks, heals, and have this healing decay. Then when someone's healed, they lose the amount of healing they lose HP. However, unfortunately, it doesn't really work in PvP. It's not something like change anything, and no one uses this guy really. No one uses this guy against the bear who's healing. Maybe in future if we get like other bosses that heal a lot, that then he will shine. At the moment he doesn't shine, but in the future we may get a content that he will be really good at. Now Florentus, once you get his frost weapon, and because this weapon's available in the shop, that's why he got star. Know that he is a T3 with his frost weapon. He's very good single target freezer, and that's it really. He's not very good champion. That's why he's limited use. Now we got Boars. Boars limited use. I didn't play much him, so I won't say too much about this guy. He's not incredibly strong. I wouldn't recommend anyone building this guy at all unless you're end game and you know what you're doing. A colon is interesting. You may build him for the bear because he places block heal. So he is very good for the bear. Would I build him? Yes. If you don't have a team that you can kill the bear quickly before he heals, he will be probably in your first team against the bear. Unless you build another champion, maybe Girloy in this case. Now, next champion is Ralph, and Ralph was he's very good champion for new accounts because you don't have to level him high. You can take him to like 40 or 50. He will place to battle buff on you, and once you trigger the buff, you get 80% attack increased free you get. So he's very good at early game, and he can help you push a lot of content. So definitely worth investing in because you don't have to invest a lot. You just invest a little bit. Now, weak tier T4, Gareth. I don't play Gareth really, but everyone who tells that Gareth's kit is just nothing special. I wouldn't really stress too much about this champion. Just don't build her. Same with Clementine. Just ignore her. She's supposed to be a healer with some damage. She's not very good. She places a sleep on herself, and then she's out, and she's just pain in the neck. Not worth it. Now Nicholas, he was the guy who had this invisibility that you couldn't attack him with single target, but and then enemies usually attack with AoEs anyway. So and they dispel that. Not very good champion. Same with Kerdin. I didn't play her much. She could be used in some teams, but I know some people using her, but I don't know much about her. But from all people who use her, she's not recommended. That's why she's down here in the tier list. Now we're going to our sustain. So healer, shielders. Now again we got Nika. I explained why Nika is so broken. She got the best heal in entire game. It's easy to scale her HP too. Now next one is Brennan. And Brennan is another champion. Usually you wanna take this champion to C5. Brennan gives us very strong barrier for 2 turns, 5 hit barrier. It's a must use for PvP. All the best teams have Brennan. And also he's very good if you are doing some content where you can die early, but in some dungeons that will help you to survive few hits before you set up yourself. So that's good. That's good character. I believe you can have it will help you in early game, mid game, and it's a must-have end game. Now Turin used to be T0, now it's T0.5. That's one of the strongest heals in the entire game. She's very, very good champion. She can give you some weapons evasion too, or she can give you increased defense too on the other weapon. So she is very useful champion. I like her, and she's definitely worth building. Now, next champion is Baldwin, and he has sheer damage. Sheer damage is a very good ability. It's used in a lot of content. You can use him literally everywhere. The downside is skill free, so it's very expensive to use. Bear in mind. He also gives us increased defense. A very good tanky champion. However, he has some specific use cases. Like it's not like you're gonna use him everywhere. If you don't have Guinevere, he can kinda like fulfill that option too. He's very good sustainer because of the sheer damage ability. Vivian is a healer with some DOT capabilities. She can increase duration of DOTs in some other weapons, but her basic weapon is not doing that. She can play some DOTs, not too many. She has very weird mechanic that she can change DOTs into recovery over time. But if enemies don't place any DOTs, this does nothing to you. If you take her to C8, then she places debuff on herself that is considered DOT, and then like you can work around it. But this is C8; it's just ridiculous. With other weapons, she gains some value. She can increase duration of DOTs, or she can make your allies place DOTs. So she is. Other weapons can be useful, but she doesn't have as much use as as Nika, for instance. However, there is potential, and if you pull her, you can build her. You won't lose. She is still a good healer. Now we got T.1.5. Now Gillian is really good support, but as a healer, not that much because she basically heals single target on all her skills. So she's worth investing in. She's good. She might be enough to heal your party in some content, but in some content it's not enough. But anyway, worth building because she's T0 in support. So she's support with some healing capabilities. Now Sarah used to be really higher at the tier list. She got strong AoE heal. She got some heals on S2, S3. She also is really good against the first dragon because she plays block buffs, the debuff on enemy, so the dragon can get those annoying evasion buffs. Very good champion, worth building if you need her for some teams. But I wouldn't, if you put her, you got her early, you don't have other healers, she will be your healer to go. Definitely worth building. However, you can build Turin too, and you start with her. Really, you get her in the campaign very early or after a few days of login. I don't remember exactly. Now T2, there's nothing, and then we have limited use T3. We got Frederick. So Frederick is not that bad character. If you get him to C8, he can shine. He places attack on increase attack on your champions. He can steal buffs and he can transfer buffs to your DPS or other champions you choose. So he's kind of good. However, he doesn't work in auto battles. He's not, you know, great in that. But he's so if you have like a comp that you want to use him, he may have some use. I built him. I don't use him at all. A lot of people just build this champion and they never use him. So there's something because we have just better options. Clementine, again, she's not very good healer, to be honest. She's weird. Her whole kit is just very strange. Now we go into week T4. Now Isolde, no, her healings are just not that good. She's not that good, and then she places some DOTs. When you got her Chivalry 8, she have a chance to increase duration of DOTs, but this has like 3 or 4 turn cooldown. I don't even remember. So you won't use her much. You might use her in Gorgos for if you're early at some point, but otherwise I would not recommend investing in this champion. No, so that's it for this tier list, guys. If you go below, you can see how this tier list evolved. You have all the patch notes, so you can just follow up if you're interested. Anyway, guys, if you like this video, if you find this useful, please like this video, leave a comment, even emoji, guys. That helps grow this channel so much. I'm almost hitting 500 subscribers, so subscribe if you didn't yet. That helps enormously. Thank you very much. I'm out. Hasta luego.